We're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's been a while, but welcome back to Changeling the Lost Smoky Mountain Wilds. I am William Orshani, and I am your storyteller for this Changeling the Lost second edition chronicle. And joining me once again, we have Julia.
Hey, my name is Julia, and I'm playing Cassandra Scott, the elemental polychromatic.
And Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm playing Joe Arbor, the elemental notary.
And Austin.
Hello, I am Frank and/or Lisa, both of whom are cats. One of who is a lethopomp, the other is a polychromatic.
So that was the word you were looking for. And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Jackson Montgomery or Marlene Dubois, Fair Shadowling.
And Dreb.
I'm Drevian. I'm playing Frisian, the Darkling Hunterheart.
And as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights. Eat the rich. Eat the Reich. That's a game that came out recently.
Yep, sure is.
And happy Lust Month, I believe we established October was.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And when last we left off,
A murder happened.
the group had followed Marcella into the hedge. A
lot of murders happened.
As a repayment for their assistance. But it turned out that this repayment was in fact a trap, as Marcella revealed themselves as a privateer who had been contracted to retrieve Marlena specifically, and anyone else who might be available as a bonus. With a fight with an individual who had a sort of Pied Piper aesthetic to them, the group was assaulted by beasts of the hedge, and very nearly Marlena was taken down and almost killed in the course of this, with some of the other party being injured as well. But in the conflict, Marcella was slain, as was the Piper, with Frank and Frank/Lisa, both of them at the same time because there's the hedge, taking possession of the pipe that was dropped, realizing that they can't take it out of the hedge, however, without it falling apart. They had left it there as the group had escaped the hedge, and found themselves I think you had actually spent the experience to imbue it as a token, didn't you?
I'm planning on doing it, but it takes time.
Yes.
No, he opened a gateway to his.
Yeah, it's in my hollow right now.
Yes, you opened a gateway to your hollow and shoved it in there. But you all emerged into a park in the middle of the evening in central in Knoxville.
Yep.
With injured individuals in tow.
And a severed head.
And a severed head of Marcella.
Happy Halloween.
Also, if I remember right, Cassandra's husband. Names
Yes.
are eluding me to
Yes.
has an assault rifle as well.
Tyr is fully armed.
See, the smart idea would be go back in the hedge and find a different exit. But
Nope.
exactly.
No.
I don't see what's wrong. We handled the problem in the hedge, and we're good to go.
Yes, and turn back around and go and find and encounter another problem. No.
Well, this time we don't have somebody leading us directly into danger on purpose.
It's
So-
the hedge.
Bitch, what part of fuck no do you not understand?
So, William, how
The first
crowded
part?
is the park around us currently?
So you are currently in the middle of Victor Ash Park on the west end of Knoxville, which is fairly open area. There's not a whole lot of tree cover or anything. It's not like a nature park. It is like a people come here to bring their kids to play park. But it is the middle of the evening. So there's not a whole lot of immediate people around you, and you do have the cover of setting sun to maybe not make people realize what exactly it is all of you are carrying with you at a distance. That said, not a good place to be.
Are there driving routes through the park, or is this a we will
No,
have to
there are
walk?
there are roads on the outside, on the exterior of the park. There is no road access into the park itself.
Okay. Ignoring the fact that she's currently bleeding,
That said,
Cassandra's
you're
gonna
not far from the road. Like you're maybe 200 feet from the road.
Victor
Cassandra's
Ash
going
has a
to-
road into it.
Okay, so it does have, it's a greenway more than a road. It's not really a road.
Yeah.
Well, my husband's not here. We could always call him.
No,
Yeah.
he's with us.
He is with us. He's the other one. It's him and Frisian that are carrying Marlena.
Yeah.
Yep.
I forgot he was here. Sorry.
So Cassandra's going to step a few paces away,
got out.
still trying to stay relatively like I guess hidden around this tree, but she's calling Briar Rose.
Yeah, you've stepped out as far as you can tell between a curved tree bough that is on the eastern side of Victor Ash Park, where there is a little bit more tree cover. But as you look immediately to the west, there is just a giant open field and several buildings.
Yeah.
You pull up your phone and call and put in a call. And
Please pick up.
it rings a couple of times, and then the phone picks up. Well, I wasn't sure I'd be hearing from you so soon.
Okay. I really apologize. I'm gonna get straight to brass tacks. I'm willing to do 2 favors. I need help.
Well, all right. What's the problem, and how can I help?
Okay, so I contracted Winter for help with the problem, and the person that they sent us tried to. We got led into the hedge, and then she tried to take us back.
Now that's a faux pas if ever I heard one. But you're all right?
No, Jackson. We'll just look around, not remembering exactly how you were dressed at that point.
I'm pretty sure I'm Jackson.
Jackson's pretty tore up. And there will be an audible pause and oh fuck, I'm bleeding.
As in that pause, you can probably hear in the background a string of audible things that are not appropriate to say on his stream.
Our standards. That's concerning.
We're at you said Victor Cross?
Victor Ash.
Victor Ash Park. More wooded side. Whatever you can do to help.
All right. Walk east till you get to Bradshaw Road and stay in the tree line. I'll get somebody over there. If you can get to
Thank
the end
you.
of Bradshaw that meets with Stonewood, that'll do great.
Thank you. I owe you.
Yeah, you do, but I think there's some other people that are gonna owe you first. And she hangs up.
He'll come back around to the group. All right, I got good news and I have bad news. Bad news is I'm on the hook for a couple favors. Good news is we need to start walking and we are going to get an extraction.
Well, all right.
Where do
And
we
who
go?
are you gonna be owing?
Briar Rose, the one of the spring keeper for the commons.
All right. Ow.
Also, I need to beat the shit out of some people in winter.
I think she'll help.
So we and she will relay the directions back to the group.
Yeah, I know the way. Tyr says, I've been around this section of the city a bit. It's not far. Just the other side of these trees.
Well, why don't you take point then?
Yeah.
Is I'll be happy to help beat some asses just as soon as I have more blood in my body than I have out of it.
She is going to text Briar Rose. There's 7 of us.
You step back. Big truck. Got it.
There wasn't a moving van. I really don't care.
All right, trunk. Joking.
Yes, she will.
I mean, she would.
Listen, riding in the trunk is actually a very soothing experience.
It is.
I can say that from a lot of experience.
No, I did that as a kid. My mom doesn't want to admit it, but I did.
It is. You think that it's like an anxiety dreams. No, like it is relaxing. As long as you don't think, "Wow, someone rear-ends me, I'm fucked." Like
If you're in the back
outside,
seat, if somebody T-bones you, you know.
like well, if somebody T-bones you, you're in trouble no matter what, probably. But like, as long as you don't think that, it is a fairly soothing, relaxing ride.
I
My,
know my brother had a friend when we were driving between towns, and he was just in the back, just took a nap.
Also, you usually don't have to talk to people, and that is a major added plus.
Yeah. So Joe's gonna kind of walk beside Marlena, where Marlena is being carried. And this is gonna sound like a really stupid question, but you sound well enough to answer me. You doing all right? I know you're
There's
not.
just a look, just an absolute deadpan, like
You know what the
just
fuck I mean.
stare.
You know what the fuck I mean, okay? But you're still glaring at me, so I mean you haven't lost too much blood.
I'm gonna be honest, sweetie. I don't know what you mean because that can be about a lot of different things. Am I physically still alive and unlikely to die anytime in the near future? Assuming that nobody breathes on me too hard. Yes, I'm fine. That way. Other ways, I'm just going to answer them all at once. Yes, no, and still to be determined.
Got it.
Reply hazy, ask again later.
Yeah, Magic 8 Ball. Got it. Okay.
Oh, we came out of
What's
the
a
hedge.
magic
I
8 ball?
It's a toy.
Ah,
It's a toy that people use like a fortune teller. Like the person, a fortune teller. Like
Magic 8 ball was invented earlier than I thought it was. It was invented in 1946.
It was. Yep.
That said, that's literally right around the end of the Second World War.
yeah. You probably wouldn't.
So, right time. Frisian wouldn't know it because he would have still been in the
Wrong.
in the
Yep.
Marines at the time.
Yeah.
Right place, wrong time.
Yeah.
Right time, wrong
Right
time.
time, wrong place. Yeah.
Are you saying that Frisian was not an early adopter of toys and buying stuff just as soon as they came out?
Getting off the boat from deployment, he's like, man, I need to go into a trendy toy store right now.
Right?
It's the sort of thing of trying to catch up on what you missed while you're gone.
Yeah.
He was on his way to go buy his first Magic 8 Ball when he got yanked.
If it had been 5 minutes later, he would have been yanked with Magic 8 Ball.
Yep. Then he could have gotten out.
Oh yeah, Magic 8 Ball would have given him the secrets to escape the hedge.
The Magic 8 Ball would have given him the secret to escape the hedge. Hit the keeper with it repeatedly until he lets you go, and then run.
Blunt force trauma.
I mean, either that or he would have ended up as a completely different changeling.
That's
Or
very
that.
Would have ended up as an oracle instead of a darkling
like-
hunter heart.
Oh, how fucked up would that be?
he'd be inside the fortune tellers, like
Because you know the keeper has no idea that it's not a real prediction thing. So he'd be like, huh, you are clearly an oracle. I understand what I need to turn you into.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
they
stick
just
you
come
on a
out of
little
the
podium.
hedge with a Magic 8 Ball for a head.
I have my new idea for when Jackson dies.
Like all I can think of is Elemental Oracle now.
Absolutely. Elemental Oracle. Their body is made out of the ink that makes up the interior of the Magic 8 Ball, and the Magic 8 Ball is just their head.
after you smash it open because you got mad at the Magic 8 Ball and you threw it on the floor, and
Yep.
stories.
So much violence.
So our jaunty trip over to be picked up for triage.
Involves the explaining of the Magic 8 Ball.
So, did anybody happen to order a doctor, with the extraction, or
Briar Rose
Because-
did ask if we were hurt, so I assume she's sending somebody with at least first aid kit. Other than that, I got nothing. And
I think she needs a
Is
little
it-
bit more than a band-aid.
Isn't your dragon husband good at first aid?
I'm sure he is if he had a first aid kit.
Yeah, I don't exactly have one of those right now.
He's also kind of busy carrying, a patient.
The injured person, yeah.
It's also the dragons.
I do like that the official term now is dragon husband.
Well, when I said dragon boyfriend, I was unaware of the situation, and I apologize for that. He's your dragon husband.
Oh, I forgot
I mean,
you.
I'm not much of a scaly, but you do you. And to be fair,
Oh my fucking
I'm not
god!
a scaly, but look, he is all yours, and you got up pretty well.
Marlena, you want some of my blood? Because I'm about to go unconscious.
Yes, that is exactly how that works.
It's going to
Rather
be more
than listen
difficult
to this
carry both of you
conversation.
at once.
What?
It's going to be more difficult to carry both of you at once.
Listen, you can. It's like, if I don't have to listen to this conversation, I don't care.
You make your way over to the road to the spot where it intersects and sort of sit down for a bit and wait. Thankfully, there's not too much traffic because it's late in the evening. But eventually, a large sort of black painted, but with a particular like airbrush job that sort of puts the side of this vehicle with like as if it is entwined in thorns around the back half. This particular decal job. A black Chevy Silverado dually just sort of drives its way up and kicks a corner and kicks up an amount of dirt as it slides off the side of the road next to your guy's position. Inside, you see in the driver's seat, with her hair sort of tied back into the country girl's like equivalent of like a half up, is Briar Rose. As she sort of slides the truck into place, and thumbs out to the back. Load everybody in the bed. We'll get you all out of here.
Much appreciated.
Cassandra will make sure everybody is in first, slide in her weapons, and then just look at Briar Rose.
Ow, 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 ow.
Thank you.
Hey, Lisa, who are you?
Look, can we hold her steady or something? Because this is gonna be a bumpy ride.
It's fine. This is.
Jackson,
I have many things that just in the head, most of them are inappropriate. I will be fine.
I understand you did. I saw that look. I was talking literally.
As you all like position yourselves into the bed of the truck, you realize there is someone already here with you. Is a burly woman with sort of like freckled face and this sort of like bright orange hair that is like pulled back into a ponytail, and she's wearing this like full farmer's outfit, like white shirt, blue overalls, straw hat that's just kind of on her head. And as you look under the mask, you see that she has this sort of like pair of curling horns and a more bovine expression on her face, and the sort of like enormous like nose ring that you would typically see, and a tail sort of whipping out behind. But she's got a bag next to her, as she sort of looks up as the group of you approach, and you see that she is fucking massive. Like, she is built like the kind of person who builds houses all day. But
no, not gonna do it.
like she looks strong enough to pull a plow like the animal she is designed after. But she opens up, she looks up as the group of you sit down. All right, everybody, who I mean, I see who's the most injured, but here, grab a handful of these, she says as she opens up the bag and pulls out a series of small red vegetables that look almost maybe fruit. They look kind of like eggplants, but they're red instead of purple, and they're relatively small. And she just sort of hands one over to Marlena and one over to Cassandra. Take a chomp down now.
What is that? I've never seen one of those before.
Yes, what exactly am I eating? This would not be. What is it?
Call them amaranthine. There's stuff grows on the other side, does a little bit more supernatural work for you.
Am I familiar at all with amaranthine?
You can roll me intelligence and occult if you want.
I am capable of rolling dice. Yes.
Cassandra will just, without question, just with everything else today, just eat the fruit.
Yeah,
cool.
Jackson definitely considers giving some guff, but will not.
You both bite down on the amaranthine, and your most severe point of damage goes away.
You have a third?
She pulls out another one and hands it over.
Thank you.
Got a bag full of amaranthine for danger extraction.
How quickly does bruise go away?
15 minutes.
Yeah, it's like it's relatively quick.
Would I be done? Would I have all my bruise stuff gone?
The amount of time you've been
by
waiting,
now?
you probably lost your bashing. Yeah.
Okay, bashing. Yes, that's the term.
Yeah.
Yep.
But,
I am below wound penalties now.
yeah.
Woohoo!
And amaranthine, a single amaranthine heals a point of aggravated damage or less if need be.
Oh.
And 3, not 2.
And she has 6 of them to go around.
She the moment the next one is offered to her, she is just going to point to Marlena.
I don't need one. Somebody else can have mine.
Well, I handed out 3, got 3 more for you, she says as she sort of like sets the bag down in the middle of the group.
All right. I will. Oh yeah, I'll take one more, but that's it.
Have we started
only
driving at this
done-
point?
Yeah, you're on the road at this point. You can feel the wind sort of brushing past you as Briar sort of takes off down the road.
Excuse me just a moment, and Cassandra's just going to lean over the edge and just throw up on the side of the road as we're driving.
I'm gonna look. What's her name? What's the medic's name?
She hasn't given it yet.
I'm just gonna look over at her and say, is that a normal reaction?
No, I think she just got something of a weak stomach. She says as she leans. She's sitting like against the cabin.
Yeah.
So she sort of leans off to one side, and you see there's a. Any of you who have seen a pickup truck with an open bed, you know there's that central window in the back glass.
Yeah.
She sort of slides that down and sort of looks in. Bri, you didn't tell me one of them had a weak constitution. Just leaned over the side and hawked up whatever she just ate.
In all fairness, I don't know if that's necessarily due to the food or we've had a day.
It's not.
There was some lap beheading earlier.
Tyr will
Heading then.
know. Tyr will know that this is a fairly common thing for Cassandra.
Yeah.
If there's too much stress and too much, she gets ill.
Yeah.
Tyr sort of like after you finish retching, Tyr will just sort of pull you back and hold you in his arms for a minute. You'll be all right. It's a stress reaction.
Understood.
I'm going to single-handedly kill every single Winter member.
All right, let's calm down.
Listen, one bad apple does not spoil the whole bunch. We don't need to kill innocent people for what one person did.
We don't know how effective they were at fooling other people. Actually, we do. No, we were just dumb. But we also did fall for it.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain that Winter isn't exactly folk who like having privateers in their ranks. All things considered, they're going to be just as appalled as anybody else, and whoever you did that work for is probably going to owe you favors in return.
I like how that sounds.
Sending someone off with a privateer and as a bad form of payment is not something that changelings tend to sit comfortably with.
That's kind of a relief.
Listen, as long as as long as my being perforated leads to something good, I'm okay with that. Good for us, rather.
Yeah, well, I
You've got
happen
a
to
nice place to recover.
aside from Bessie back there, who's got
Goddamn
all the
right.
fancy goblin fruits that you could want, I happen to bring along the good doctor as well. She says as she thumbs over to the person sitting in the passenger seat, which you all realize for the first time is Dr. Croak.
Oh, hey, Doc.
Good to see all of you again. When we get somewhere safe, I'll take a closer look at all of your wounds and see what I can do about what the amaranthine hasn't already fixed.
I mean, I'm already feeling 7 times as good as I did.
That's not 7 times 0, is it?
7 times 1% is 7%.
No, that's good.
I'm all jokes aside, I'm feeling relatively okay. By which I mean not okay, but not in a dire situation.
Listen, progress is progress.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's get what we're going to get.
It's a damn shame that I'm gonna have to deal with this the natural way, Tyr says as they indicate to their own bloody gashes that they're dressing.
I mean, if you want, you can be captured and held for what feels like an eternity, come back, and then you can heal in supernatural ways. But I wouldn't recommend that experience.
No, I don't intend to.
Yeah, I'd rather deal with the gashes.
If it's okay with everybody else, the moment we get all these things settled and we get some breathing room and the good docs, which stitches us all up, then I think we might need a couple days before we go after the next target.
Absolutely fair. I don't think any of us will be in fighting shape, even after being stitched up.
She
It
will just
was
sort
our
of
next
side
target.
eye a tear. The Alba family. I assume, she says, looking at Joe and James.
I mean, if that's what's best for the group, then yeah, we can certainly do that, but I don't want to jump in line or anything.
I mean, that was what we were discussing. But even that being the case, it's not something where we're going to be like, all right, let's wash all the blood off and then go over to collect some heads right away, like we had a plan. Kind of.
No. Yeah, we did have a plan. But I think, like your plan, is going to take some setup.
Mm-hmm.
And more than a few drinks.
Oh,
I mean, hopefully I've got that back at home now. If not, I will.
I have a question. If we end up killing a changeling and she had a secret stash of all the information in the world, do we get that stuff? And then we can use that to do all the research we need.
Wait, who do you know that has all the information in the
We
world?
just murdered her.
Oh, that's right.
And she had, I'm sure she has saved passwords and stuff on her computers, and she has I'm sure she has contact lists and all that sort of stuff.
I really hate to say this, but good thinking.
Oh, how much blood have you lost?
Listen. They may be a complete airhead, but occasion when a stopwatch is right, you still give it the credit for being right.
I wouldn't get too excited about it, though, considering, if she's as clever as she seems to have been, James says, there's ever a chance that she had fail-safes in place to wipe any of her information should she die.
Yeah,
Can't
but
you
if
just
she's
like
dead, does she
enhance or
really
something?
care?
Yeah, but I mean, there could be something with, like we try to enter the wrong password or something, and the whole thing blows up. I don't know.
Or she made a contract with all of her equipment.
Mm.
Also, there's probably a good amount of her information that came from contacts she knew rather than just databases she had.
I reckon most of her information probably came from contacts. She seems like that kind of person.
Which is probably how she managed to go undetected as a privateer, apparently is the term, for so long. Making deals, doing favors, making friends, gathering information probably made her too valuable to really consider as a threat to most people.
Much too valuable of a resource. When you know people who know people who know people.
True, but there's probably something there.
Oh, I'm sure we'll find something useful, even if it's only what she's printed out, but I wouldn't expect to get too much out of her computers.
And
I mean, and also that room just had a really cool aesthetic.
that information, I would imagine, would probably be very useful for the court at large. And I'd be willing to bet we could get a lot of goodwill and maybe some favors if we were to magnanimously give it over proactively. That just means we have to get to it before, say, for example, winter does.
Who we turn it over to? We turn it over to Fall. They're the record keepers.
I would say we acquire the information and then we go into the commons. We find whoever would be most appropriate and we very publicly give it over so that it can't be held by any one particular individual secretly. And thus everybody knows that we were the ones that handed it over.
True.
Bri, is there like a easy way the information is disseminated to the entire commons or freehold?
I mean, we're not exactly a well-knit community aside from the commons, so most any news that travels across the freehold travels through the commons.
So what? We stand up on the bar and make an announcement.
I would suggest
Frank gets
against
mad at
that.
me when I go up on the bar. But it's usually not to make announcements either, so.
It might be time to have a big family meeting.
Well, remember, you're talking to one of the keepers. If we need to gather people around, we can do that.
I don't think I think we just we get the information, we find the busiest possible time, and we just walk in and hand it over. If we try to organize to get everybody there, it's clear that we are doing it for the acknowledgement.
True. Whereas this handing off at a busy time could be pure coincidence.
Absolutely.
Are they leaders of the seasonal courts?
To speak, sort of. There are people that are considered higher up and more influential among the court, and whenever a particular season is in power, that court elects a ruler that sort of oversees infrastructure and operation for most of the freehold as far as we all operate. But it's not as organized as I've heard of some other freeholds across the country are that are in, more urban areas. We're a little spread out, and likewise our form of government, air quotes, is also kind of spread out and ad hoc. Mostly we just look after our own.
Some days it's all you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Off we go.
But yeah, the dually drives out through Knoxville, and eventually makes its way honestly probably back to the commons. Drives all the way out to Dollywood, and sort of slides in under the gates, even though it's late at night and nobody should be letting people in. There's the person at the area where they let vehicles in just sort of waves you through, and you pass in. Make your way over. The truck parks right behind the building that is always in use for the commons. And Briar turns the key off and hops out. All right, Doc, take a look at our engine. And Dr. Croak steps out of the passenger seat and climbs into the bed of the truck and starts to look over the injured. He is going to make a roll.
Cassandra will refuse medical treatment until Jackson is seen first.
For the record, I only have 3 lethal at this point. I know only 3 lethal, but still.
You're more injured than
Anybody
Cassandra
else?
is.
Well, yeah, it's because I got stabbed a lot.
Well, don't do that.
Distributing his successes, Frisian's only got one. Joe's completely uninjured.
Yeah, Joe's just gonna hop out of the truck bed so he can get to the people he needs to get to.
He will distribute his successes and downgrade one lethal each from Cassandra, Tyr, and Marlena down to mashing.
Okay. I'm fine.
Frisian's is old. It goes away in like another day.
Yeah.
To Lisa, that's like a stubbed toe, right? It's really not.
Unless you stub your toe really badly, like on a chainsaw.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you
I've
if
shot
you
myself
stubbed your
on a
toe hard
sawzall.
enough for your foot to come off.
I don't know about a chainsaw, but how about a sawzall?
Done
Done that.
If any of you want more comprehensive treatment, you'll need to stay a while in my clinic. I would need to take a little bit more time than what I can do out here with what tools I have on hand.
Appreciate it, Doc. I'm good enough to go.
I would recommend giving yourselves a couple of days of rest. You particularly, Madam Hunter, he says, looking over at Bologna. You've taken more of a beating than most would in the defense of our kind, and I appreciate it. But you are only human.
Cassandra's hand is going for that sword.
To the point where Jackson realized that thing that we kept arguing against having happen happened.
To be fair, they knew what they were doing and brought him in.
No, absolutely.
And Briar.
It's fine because it's not gonna. It's not blowing back on them if this goes well. It is, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Briar just sort of pats Dr. Croak on the shoulder and then looks over at Bologna. You done good. Just forgive us if we don't all relax around you, but I appreciate you helping protect us. Bologna just nods and leans back against the dually for a minute, sort of stretching out their aching muscles. Trust me, I do not currently count changelings among the list of people that I have to worry about, at least for the most part. There's obviously people like Marcella.
Yeah, that raises another thing. And she just sort of lean around Tyr to look at Briar and Dr. Croak. So Briar, you remember when I was asking about mortals in the commons?
Yep.
She'll just sort of like side-eye Tyr.
He's all right.
Well, yeah. Listen, I get that there's some issues, but if people like Marcella are here, Tia's got to go in the commons. I may have worded my bargain a little too specific. They can't harm another changeling. They can't harm a changeling until they enter and leave the commons. And if people like Marcella are still around, then
yeah, you'll notice I didn't really take any shots at Marcella while we were in that fight. I was mostly shooting the Briar Wolves.
Yeah, but sweetheart, if she had stabbed me or
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
Like I said, Briar says, he's all right. He can come and go as he pleases, preferably as long as he's accompanying one of you. I think he's earned a little bit of trust. And hell, I know what love can do to a person and the kind of lines it'll make him not want to cross. I trust you'll keep him in line.
Sandra will smile. I will do my best.
Assuming I'm not the one keeping her in line.
You're not supposed to say that out loud.
There's a good laugh from all gathered at that.
And Joe's just gonna be like, "You do you."
I wouldn't worry about it too much. I wouldn't go broadcasting it out loud. You know, some people will still be skittish. But as far as the keepers are concerned, he's welcome.
Thank you. I think I would very much like to go home. And just look at Tyr. Where the hell's my car?
Probably outside where we left into the hedge.
Back in Knoxville, where we came from.
If you're up for staying awake for a little longer, I can get us a ride out there and then we can drive that home.
I think I'd like that. I remember my family.
I saw you grab the thing off the side of the boat. That was an icon then.
Was my icon. I remember my stubborn as hell parents. I remember my conservative father who had right many
me.
words for you. Yeah, well, you know what? I was his third child. He should have expected me not to listen to him at that point.
Out of 5, man, your parents dedicated.
Yeah. Let's get everybody home, and then I will debate calling my mother.
I mean, you don't have to do that right away just because you remember your family. That's going to be extra on you. You can take a minute. She won't.
Are you the third child or are you the second child based on the
She's the third out of 4.
because I see older sister and 2 younger siblings.
She's the second out of 4.
Yeah,
My bad. Brain.
Yeah.
Was second child, so at that point I'm just anyway. No, I get what you mean, Joe. Maybe a few days of rest might do me some good before I try and throw another grenade on the fire.
Lord knows I love my mama, but relaxing is not one of the terms I'd use in a phone conversation.
Oh no, sweetie. Like, I get it. My mom really supported my academic pursuits, but well, you come out as gay to your parents, and then start dating. I don't need to go into all that. But the only thing you need to know about my parents is they currently hate my lifestyle and hate my spouse. So any little bit of middle finger I can give them, like, oh hey, I survived being kidnapped for 4 years. I wasn't dead.
Yeah, I mean, save that for a special occasion. Like, make sure you're really around to enjoy it. You know, get nice and relaxed first, and then savor, giving them the middle finger. And I can't talk. I can't talk. You know, my fetch in-laws killed my fetch. So I mean, I'm not one to talk about stable families or nothing. Whatever that means. I hope you find some peace.
We all do, honestly. Rose, Dr. Croak, and she will turn to the third individual who is Bessie, right?
Yeah, Bessie was the name that was given.
And Bessie, thank the three of you. Don't know what we do without you right now, honestly.
I think we'd be dead.
I don't know about dead, but maybe in a bit of a rough situation, Bessie says as she sort of hops back up in the bed. She sort of thumps the side of the truck. Briar, you need to get me back to the farm. And Briar just sort of nods. Yeah. All right. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you much.
Dr. Croak and Briar hop back in the truck. Starts up, backs up, and drives off.
Y'all know Marlena's just laying there on the ground, right? She done already passed out.
Jackson, or not Jackson. Frisian would be holding Jackson up. So it's Marlena just passed out, like being held up.
I mean, if y'all get an Uber to wherever you go, and it's not going to be the first time they've ever had I don't know, though, the blood and the head.
They've been mostly have a severed head.
Part of Dr. Croak's whole thing was cleaning everybody up. So most of the blood has been cleaned up.
Yeah, that's a good point. Why do we have a severed head?
Frisian ignores the comment about that. I was thinking
Marlena wanted a prize.
I was thinking it might be easier to take Marlena back to Small House.
No, that's
really
a good point.
The Williamsburg house, because it's closer.
It is.
I mean,
closer.
if we just need a place to rest, the closest place would be my hollow.
No.
Marlena may still be injured, but she'd probably rip my head off if I tried to take her into the hedge.
Yeah,
It's
she'd have a-
perfectly safe.
Then she'd have a matching set of severed heads.
Marlena said no.
He
Oh.
says no.
So she might be mighty pissed if she wakes up and she's not in her nice new fancy mansion.
I feel like she'll be all right as long as she's in her, other place that she spends a lot of her time, as opposed to in the fucking hedge again, James says.
I mean, you're not wrong. This is a really fucking nice house.
It is real fancy. But I think it can live another day without them being in it.
There's also like waking up from being unconscious in an unfamiliar place.
No, that's a good point. Let's get her back there.
I'll call the Uber. We're probably gonna have to walk her all the way out of Dollywood before we can, get picked up, considering they're supposed to be closed right now.
That makes sense.
Again, the severed head.
Actually, you know what? The severed head is honestly I don't know why I'm not more worried about a severed head, but I'm really not.
Tell you what, we can take it with us if you're worried about the Uber driver asking questions, Tyr says.
You guys say I'm the one who's messed up.
Oh no, we never
Look-
claimed that you were the only one that was messed up. Not by a long shot.
Cassandra looks like she's gonna put up a fight about it and then just sort of like sighs.
Frisian is going to again ignore any comments about the head and instead turns to James. Hey James, can you help get Marlena like on my back? It'd be easier to like carry your piggyback.
Yeah, I can do that. And he'll help
Okay.
lug Marlena up for Frisian to carry piggyback style. Either that or we could just get rid of it. I don't know how long you want to keep that trophy.
That's a question from when Marlena wakes up.
Yeah, I think Marlena should decide that. So we all headed, except for you and you, she goes, pointing to Cassandra and Tyr. We all headed back to Marlena's old place.
James looks around. Anyone not going that way? Aside from them too. Looks over at Frank/Lisa.
What time? What time is it?
It's probably like 9 in the evening at this point.
We don't really have anywhere else to go, I guess. So, sure.
All right. One ride for the 4 of us. 5. 5 of us. Just because one of us is unconscious doesn't mean they don't count for a ride, James.
Jackson kind of rouses a bit, huh?
For
What I
reference,
miss? What I
you're
miss?
now- what
We're
you miss
getting
is
an
being
Uber and you
piggyback.
count as a person.
You're also now like being piggybacked by Frisian.
Oh, okay. Right. Blood loss takes more out of you than you think.
Does Joe have her phone?
Yeah.
Joe is gonna take out her phone and snap a picture of Marlena riding piggyback on Frisian's back and just tuck it back in her pocket.
Yep, absolutely. Meanwhile, James is already like arranging an Uber ride for just outside of Dollywood to head back to the warehouse. After the group of them leave, Tyr, I'm assuming having been left with the head, unless the rest of you took it with you for the Uber ride.
Well, now
That would
Now-
be
No,
no.
I hope
It's like-
so.
it's like now that Jackson's awake, Jackson gets to decide what he wants to do with the head.
Oh yeah, I was the one who brought the head, wasn't I?
Yes, you were.
Yeah. That was you.
I sliced the head. You grabbed it.
Trying to remember what. I mean, I have no idea what yet, but I don't think Jackson probably did either at that point. So, fine.
With no particular concern about the head being mentioned, I'm going to assume it's been dumped.
I would stomp on it a few times if I were Marlena, but I mean,
I'm not gonna stop that from happening.
Yeah, I don't remember why I wanted the head other than the head of my enemy and I must have it.
may have been the blood loss.
You know what? No, I want it.
Okay.
Right? Do you want it in the Uber with you, or am I taking it with me?
You should probably take it with you.
All right, I'll put it on ice, I guess.
Otherwise, I
Take it.
assume we will have to pay some kind of cleaning deposit when it drips all over the back seat.
Wait a second. Tyr, please tell me you are not going to put that in the freezer where one of your kids could see
Oh,
it.
fuck no! When I said on ice, I meant literally on ice, not in a freezer.
There's ice in the freezer. I don't know. Some parents are twisted.
Yay,
Look,
ice
I
cream.
might-
No
look.
trauma.
Look, I might be a professional killer of monsters, but I'm not about to traumatize my children.
No judgments passed. I'm just saying.
It's got to learn eventually. Sometimes you just have to cut someone's head off.
That's a pretty big scar.
I am not teaching my children about mortality by leaving a severed head in the freezer.
Well, no, you don't leave it in the freezer. Never mind. They don't learn it here.
Anyway.
They're going to learn it on the internet.
Fuck.
Am I wrong?
You are not.
The internet is for looking at cute pictures of cats, not severed heads.
The
You know
internet
what?
is many things to
And
many
primarily
people.
cute pictures of cats.
Actually, it's
With
primarily
severed heads.
it's primarily for porn.
Ugh.
That does not exclude my previous statement.
Oh yeah, there's some really cute cats, all right.
You were missing my never mind. We're not going there. I'm a safe for work furry.
Frisian's now just confused about the talk about the internet.
There's a whole song about the internet and how it's for porn.
You know, no, I don't even want to say anything mean about you right now. Like, you've clearly already been through enough. It can't be easy having parents who are first cousins. So,
What?
Who was that directed at?
guess.
No.
It was either at Tyr or at Frank, and I can't
It
tell
was
which.
at Frank. It was 100% at
Or
Frank.
Lisa, yeah.
I'm
Lisa.
not saying,
100% at
that-
Frank.
if you're directing that at Joe, I was about to punch you.
I am missing
Fucking Southern stereotype.
something.
Don't
You're missing
worry
a
about
lot
it.
of
You're
things.
missing a lot of things, sweetie.
To be fair, I also don't know who my parents were, so I can't argue.
Is that Uber here yet? Jesus fucking Christ.
So meanwhile, after they have left to get their Uber, Tyr being left with the severed head and with Cassandra, sort of looks at the bag the head is in, nudges it with her boot. Yeah, okay. Pulls out their phone and starts to dial some numbers. And after a minute, Cassandra, you hear the phone line pick up, and Tyr goes, "Hey, Fixer, I need a couple of things. First up, I need extract. I need to get brought back to where my vehicle's parked because I've been taking a significant distance away from it. I also need a ice box for a severed head because it's apparently going to be used later."
So I'm just picturing like when you said on ice, like there's the two freezers in the basement. Is like one has like all the like stuff you get from like Costco and everything, and the other one is like that's the freezer you never ever touch.
Just full of severed heads.
Full of severed head and
A severed head freezer.
body parts and like
Just an entire vampire.
like a wolf hand that just like looks like this. A monkey's paw.
That's where I left that. So yeah, Cassandra is like fighting giggles as she is watching her spouse make this call.
Yeah, all right, yeah, 20 minutes. Thank you very much. And please hurry. I do not want to be holding this bag any longer than I have to. Cool. See you when you get here. I'm out. And they hang up.
Do any co-workers know about me?
Not in full detail.
Just sort of straightens up a little bit. You care to elaborate on that? Or are you gonna?
They know that the thing that brought me into the hunting world was related to you, and they know that you're around again. They don't know any of the other details, really.
I think for the moment we need to keep that under wraps. Don't know how well your group of monster exterminators would do to find out you are
Well,
shackled
Cassie
to the enemy.
would probably be completely unbothered. She's more of the like redeemer kind of person. Thinks that all monsters can be good people, despite how many vampires we've had to deal with that try and prove otherwise.
Dealing with the wrong vampires. I've got a vampire you should deal with to make you feel that way.
What did you say?
Like you're dealing with the wrong vampires.
Oh,
but I mean, some of the other ones, quite frankly, none of them can afford to lose me. So I don't think they get to say, and I don't think they get any say in the matter.
That is the right answer.
And I'm one of the only ones who's actually forward operating team and has a pair of second sight shades, he says as he taps the shades on his forehead.
So I take it those aren't exactly easy to make.
No, this is very interesting technology that takes a lot of work to make function. Most people, they call it something along the lines of monster media for various different purposes. It's basically there's a variety of different capture and like a variety of different tools that can be used to see the unreal and the things that hide beneath. Second sight shades like I have that can see everything are very rare and hard to make and are a big investment. Usually it's just like, there's a camera that can see ghosts or like a dowsing rod that vibrates in the presence of vampires or werewolves or something like that.
Seems highly inefficient.
It takes a lot of work to make something that can truly and accurately detect something supernatural.
Sting from Lord of the Rings came to mind.
Well, at least I know that me being around won't really screw up anything for you.
I wouldn't let it. They don't get a say in the matter.
Right, you're the one with the guns.
Exactly.
Jump cut to Calliope being kidnapped by vampires.
There's a reason that I'm the one who's called killer.
I'm not the happiest of that nickname, but far be it for me to tell you how to operate things.
Well, I didn't pick it, but speaking of parents, your parents think I killed you, by the way. They've never had proof of it, but they haven't really spoken to me in a long time.
She's gonna pull up her phone, start typing in a number.
Oh my god.
Is she saying anything?
She started typing it in. She's like, "Don't open that. Don't open that can of worms tonight, please."
Fine. Give you one night of rest before I completely throw my parents' brains wide open.
If you want to raise hell, I'm not going to stop you, but let's at least sleep first.
Sleep sounds so nice right now.
You two also make your way out of Dollywood. The group of 5
Mm-hmm.
gets an Uber
Yes.
and make your way back to the warehouse where you have all the room you need to sleep for the night.
Cut back and say, listen, all I'm saying is if you were more inbred, you'd be a sandwich.
James has to stifle laughter at that line.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Damn.
Oh, I'm not sure
See,
what
a
you're
sandwich
implying.
is when you take 2 pieces of bread.
No, I understand. I know what a sandwich is.
It's a pun and an insult.
What about what? Why would I be inbred?
I don't even have to say anything anymore.
Joe doesn't even try to
Do you
hide.
know
No,
something
no,
about
this is this is like shooting fish in a pile of fish. I'm
No,
done.
I'm really confused. What? Do you know something I don't know?
I'm just saying there's not
There's
always
a lot of things you don't know.
there's not always the most active things going on up here for you, I don't think.
The elevator doesn't go all the way up. Hamsters, the wheels turning, but the hamster's dead. Few sandwiches short of a picnic.
There's enough space up there for me to fit the entirety of my new home.
Do you have a sewing machine I could use?
I'm certain I have many sewing machines back at my yeah, I'm gonna have to move all my shit back into this place because I am certain
That is
I'm
where that to be fair,
fake
the
me
warehouse,
does
is
not have-
where you got an Uber
Yes.
to because it's closer. So.
yes. I'm
And-
certain that pretend to me probably did not have a sewing machine because that would be anything that was remotely me, and a bit clearly that was the opposite of its goals.
Okay.
But I do have one where we're going.
well,
I have a few.
Could I borrow it tonight?
Yes, for what reason?
I need to make money so that I can use the money to buy things.
And when we say make money, I understand this is probably not the case. I just need to be perfectly clear here. You are not making money by taking a sewing machine, going and pawning it, and then getting money from it, right?
Oh, I'm gonna sew something.
Okay. Well, look. I'm just saying it could have been a possibility.
sewing
Why would I
machines are-
steal your stuff?
Why wouldn't
You
you?
might not consider it stealing if you said, "Can I use it?" And I said, "Yes."
That's not what using something means. When you use something, you like turn it on and use it for its intended purpose. When you pawn something, you've stolen it, taken it, and made it yours. And
Okay,
then made
we
it
are
someone
on the
else's
same-
money.
We are on the same page then. Good.
To be fair, I have known them guys. I would just say, "Can I use it?" and go pawn it.
And you would not be the first person to have done something like that to me.
Okay.
Yes, you can use my sewing machine to sew some.
I'm gonna need fabric.
I have fabric. What kind of fabric do
And
you need?
I will make do with whatever you have, and then when I sell it, I'll pay you back for the fabric and use the money to get more fabric.
We will see. I am not. You're probably not. I am probably not going to be too sharp on the paying me back thing for this, sweetie. I'm rich now.
Oh.
Remember the place where we committed all the crime earlier today?
Right.
Yeah, I own that now.
That's a nice house.
Uh-huh.
He
You have a
says
nice
in the
house.
Uber.
I do.
All that crime.
I don't give a
information.
shit.
Just
The Uber driver probably doesn't either.
No,
As long as we give
absolutely
him
not.
5 stars, we're gonna be okay.
Like, I do not care enough to investigate this conversation about
right.
crimes in my backseat.
Hey,
Give
don't
5
pay me
stars.
enough.
Don't make a mess. You're fine. Yes. So you can use whatever fabric that you find, as long as it's not already made into something obvious.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Nothing for a fursuit, but I'm sure I could make like a ball gown. Or something.
Probably not a full one, but sweetie, I'm a drag queen. You don't think I have some fur lying around? And
Probably not the
feathers.
right kind
Joe
of
is just
fur.
gonna take a deep breath.
I could
It's like,
make
go,
an
go.
avian head.
When we get there, you will figure it out. You will see what I have, and you can do what you want.
As the furry costume designer is excited about the prospect of getting back to work, that's where we're going to take our break.
Go.
And we take our break, you take your break. So get up, fit your legs, whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
And we're back.
Welcome back, everybody. So, while the group of 5 is on their way back to the warehouse, Cassandra, you and Bologna make your way out of Dollywood, and it's a brief walk before a black street cruiser, just sort of this like large, not quite luxury car, but not quite like a muscle car, somewhere in between the two, pulls up, and an individual steps out and waves at Tyr. This person, probably mid to late 20s, blonde, female, hair pulled back into a long ponytail, dressed in a black, like, tailored suit, white undershirt, black tie, very Men in Black style, but with sort of like these like black driving gloves, as she steps out. She sort of looks over. I'm surprised that you needed our help this time, Killer. It's been a while since you've actually needed us to drive you anywhere. Yeah, well, sometimes I need to get places. I've been dragged all over the city, and I mean, no one better than Driver for driving, considering we gave you that name. And she nods. So who's your friend? She, Bologna sort of like nods and realizes this is going to be the awkward introduction, and says, right. Cassie, this is Cassandra, my wife. Cassandra, this is Cassie, Driver. Yeah. She drives. That's what she's good at.
Oh, I wish I was there right now.
Oh my god.
You realize that as much as Tyr is an absolute nerd, they are very socially awkward when it comes to mixing work and home life.
Sweetie,
She
put the shovel down.
This is painful.
Stop
She would just-
digging.
Pat Tyr on the shoulder. Sweetie, it's fine. She will close the gap between her and Cassie, and she still has the sword in her right hand and just sort of like shifts it over to the left and offers it out to shake.
Cassie very, very calmly sort of takes it, shakes hand. Pleasure to finally meet you.
Glad to be here so you could.
Fair enough. Let's get you back to your vehicle, shall we?
So how long have you been working with my spouse?
Oh, 4 years-ish since they joined. I was already a driver by the time they joined up. But go ahead and both of you can take the back seat if you want.
Sandra fights the urge to sit in the front seat, and gets in the back with Bologna.
And,
No fun.
Cassie sits in the front, opens it up, sits down, starts the engine, and you have barely gotten yourself buckled in before the vehicle is taken off and is gone from 0 to 60 on a winding road in about 3 seconds.
Reaches over, interlaces her fingers with Bologna's, and then just continues to squeeze.
But the thing that you realize is that Cassie is a professional in every regard. She is driving very quickly, and you are fairly certain that nothing on this road could hit her if it tried.
Your friends will never stop scaring me.
Yeah, well, sometimes they scare me. Her in particular. I have never seen someone make a vehicle do what she can do with it.
I don't know. You know what? I'm just gonna leave that as it is.
He's right, you ever jump a luxury car over a 3-story building with no ramp?
Can't say I have.
There's a trick to it. The trick is called explosives.
I don't know how to talk to you.
Don't worry, you'll figure it out. Or maybe you won't. I'm pretty certain that Tyr never has.
That tracks.
Man, only Lisa was here.
Oh my god. I don't know which car I'd rather be in now because both these conversations are absolutely amazing for different reasons.
See, Bologna just sort of scratches her head like, I genuinely do not know what to say in this particular instance.
She would just pat her lap. You're doing great, sweetie.
Chose the right choice. Don't say anything at all. Put the shovel down.
Don't say anything, then the word premeditated gets thrown around in the courtroom. I mean, what?
Oh,
Even when saying nothing isn't the best option, it's almost never the worst option.
correct.
Cassandra's gonna open her phone and check her email.
Anything in particular you're looking for?
See if she's gotten a response back from the publisher that she wrote this morning.
You've gotten an interested response. They are looking forward to getting drafts and first looks at your potential manuscript.
Looks like the next few days aren't all going to be rest. Someone's going to have to work. Got a bite back from that publisher, so hopefully we can get something going.
That's great. Well, maybe you can get back to, and it's at that moment that you feel the wheels leave the ground for a second as the vehicle kicks up into the air over what would have been the dividing wall between this road and the main road, and it just sort of kicks up over it and lands back on the road and continues on without it.
Just digs fingers into Bologna's thigh. You tell me she was gonna do that?
I didn't know she was.
Look, someone doesn't just randomly mention that they like to jump 3-story buildings.
Right.
Without proving it at some point.
No, sorry, I was just thinking of a personal life experience. Go ahead.
You jumped a lot of 3-story buildings?
No, but sorry to take out a story, but I was just recalling the time that on the way back from a funeral visitation, by the way,
Oh, I remember this story. I was in the car for this
You were in the
one.
car.
This story just started and it already took a turn.
This is me, Katie, John, and my eldest brother Matthew.
Who is
much is explained.
it was the furthest thing from Willie and John as you can possibly get. So I was riding in the front seat. They were in the back. It was just like a, I don't know, sedan.
It was a Camaro.
It was a Camaro. That's right. It was the Camaro. And so we were on our way back to their house. And this whole time, Matt's just talking big. He's talking about like telling me step by step. Yeah, this is how you do a donut, blah, 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 blah. But like he's a big talker. So I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever. We get to a cross intersection on a side road near their house.
Yeah, the intersection right before our house.
We're in an intersection right before our house. And proceeds to do a fucking donut
Just like right in the middle of the intersection.
I am holding on for fucking dear life. And I look back and like John and Miller are just like, yeah, okay, like this is a normal Tuesday.
This is just a thing that Matt does.
And I was lit. John and I got back into our car and I said, I have some fucking words. And John was like, well, he told you he was going to do it. I said, no, he was talking about doing it. He was talking about how to do it. He wasn't actually going to do it. But I was wrong.
Wow.
No, if Matt talks about how to do it, he's going to
Matt
tell you.
doesn't make idle threats.
Matt.
There's many things that we said about Matt.
That's probably one of the nicest. Anyway, so sorry, I was just having a flashback, but go ahead.
One of the nicer things that can be said about Matt is that he's better than our father.
Okay, that's basically limbo dancing in hell.
It's a low bar. It's a low bar.
Like you set the bar pretty low, and you don't really have much room to go under it. Sorry,
You're good.
I just was having flashbacks I needed to share.
I remember the exact story you were talking about immediately.
That's the only time I've ever been involved with a story like that.
Well, Cassie, I see why they give you your nickname.
Yeah, don't worry. You're never safer than when you're behind the wheel with me.
I've heard that one before too.
I'm pulling on life experience for this character.
She would just sort of lean in really close to Tyr and whisper, I think this goes without saying, but if you let our kids in the car with this woman, I swear to God, there will not be enough afterlives for you to run through.
That I would put that in the same category as leaving a severed head in the freezer for them.
Which, by the way, what are we doing with that?
Oh yeah, Cassie, did you bring the ice box? And driver just goes, "Yep, under your seat." And Tyr reaches down, pulls out a large metal container from under the seat, flips it open, and you can see it immediately vapor rises out of it. As you can see, it is heavily lined with cooling material, and she just puts the head in the box and shuts it and latches it.
Do y'all keep many severed heads on ice like that? Or
strictly speaking, it's a sample container. Whenever we need to bring back biological material to try and figure out what's going on with it. The fact that it's perfectly sized for a severed head is mostly a coincidence. Mostly.
It's usually the whole intestines, you understand.
Don't know if I like to qualify in that sentence, but you know what? It's Best not to think about it. Best not to think about it.
Yeah, I was just thinking of like a gas station styrofoam cooler.
They're disposable.
Speedway on the side.
Well, it's mostly the fact of the matter that like one of the largest things that you're going to need to contain that isn't an entire body is usually going to be a head. So that was sort of the upper limit on the necessary dimensions.
You know, there are times you need the full torso.
Sometimes, but then you have like
A
actual
leg.
coolers.
That's true.
There's a line between portability and practicality. What's the largest part of a body that you would be practically needing to carry around?
All of it.
I need that guy's
Listen.
arm.
Listen, I was a Boy Scout, which means you should always be prepared.
I was also a Boy Scout, and I am now concerned about what your Boy Scout experience was like.
I didn't say be prepared for body storage. Just be prepared in general.
I was funny enough. I was also a Boy Scout. There was a rumor that if you misbehave, you'd get left in the woods, tied up to a tree by me.
Fantastic.
Specifically by
No.
you?
Yes.
You only learn about the body storage once you get the Eagle Ring.
I could never pass a swimming test, so I never got there.
Listen, I couldn't swim either, but there are other merit badges.
But no, like it was a
Body
requirement. Like you had to be able to swim 50 feet to get to first class.
You know, you might be right. I don't know how I passed that because I am one of the worst swimmers I know.
I'm the worst swimmer you know.
Austin is.
I said one of.
I know, between you and Alana, though, Austin, I don't know. It's a toss-up.
Anyway,
Yeah. But yeah. Eventually, the vehicle, after having cut very short corners around several turns and at least one more hopping a barrier trick, driver brings the vehicle around to where you guys had parked your vehicle.
legit.
All right. Have fun, she says as she unlocks the doors.
All right.
Nice
Thank
to meet
you.
you, Cassandra.
Nice to meet you as well.
And the two of you get out and get back in your vehicle, at which point Tyr, immediately after sitting down in the driver's seat, says, "But you feel better on my driving style now, don't you?"
Yes, I take back every gasp, every oh my gods, every grab of the shit handle. Yes. Your driving is a lot better than. I don't want to say she drove bad.
She drove very
I-
well, just,
It was terrified.
yeah. All right, let's head home and get some sleep. And the two of you take off. Meanwhile,
Yep.
the other half of the party arrives back at the warehouse.
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you kindly.
Yes, make sure you give 5 stars.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Already done and tip.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Yes. And it is a good tip.
You have the money for it.
Well, and you like, even if you bad tipping your fucking Uber drivers, like, be a serial killer before you do that. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe don't commit murder? Just saying. The line doesn't have to be bad tipper or serial killer. You could do neither.
Okay, well, not serial killer. You don't have to kill that
You
many.
can't be a regular killer.
Look, all we're saying is that serial killer is an earlier line than bad tip for your Uber driver.
Also, if you're a serial killer, tip your fucking Uber driver well, because otherwise they're gonna give you up.
So where on the scale do we put people who talk on speakerphone on public transit?
Hopefully
Also
future
below serial
serial killer victims. Just saying. Anyways, so yeah, we're out.
Are we? Can Marlena walk, or do we have to like?
Yeah, I only have like, especially with that one extra, that would have been gone by now. So I'm only down by 2 lethal.
Well, no, I wasn't even talking about your injuries. I was talking about because you've passed the fuck out.
Well, yes, I was medical attention, and it was an emotionally exhausting night. He's fine now.
Okay.
He's probably
Fine-ish.
tired as fuck, but he can walk.
Yes.
Okay. I mean,
I imagine he's probably limping a bit, but he's okay.
If this is the sort of thing, Frisian's there to help if needed, but
Yeah.
letting Marlena walk on her own.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody knows the deal here. Then change. Frank, once we get inside, my sewing room's over there. All the fabric you need, and feathers, and thick fur, and sequins, and whatever else you might need is in there. Anything else we gotta do tonight?
sleep.
I mean, yeah, obviously. Like, we don't have to talk about anything. There's not anything we need to look at to do.
No,
The
I think
phone
tonight-
calls we gotta make.
At this hour of the night?
I mean, yeah.
Who you? No, I'm not gonna say that sentence.
Who would you not be calling at this hour of the
What
night?
what phone calls are you gonna make?
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
it's
right
called-
now, I don't know. That's why I asked.
Well,
No,
I will ask.
I don't know
one question.
why. I don't know why the accent's getting thicker and thicker, but it is, and I'm going with it.
Well, I will ask one question. James says, "Is anyone else fucking starving?"
Food.
oh yeah,
We
food is a
need
thing.
food.
Because I mean, that might be the adrenaline wearing off, but I am fucking ravenous.
This is also true.
Okay, well, we make food and then we sleep because eating would probably be a good thing. I'm more tired than hungry, but I don't listen to you complaining all night. So,
Oh, my stomach growling's only gotten louder since I turned into a dragon.
oh, charming. Okay. Yeah.
It's at that point that you hear a grumble that sounds like a dragon growling, but it's actually just the stomach.
Contain yourself. The kitchen's that way.
I'm gonna go get something started.
Y'all go eat. I will deal with the food stuff tomorrow. I am going to go face plant in my bed.
Go for it. Sweet dreams.
Lisa
Don't
has
wake
already
me
been
in-
lost to the sewing room.
Don't wake me unless there's a murder that's happening
Another one?
or a fire.
Oh, so we can fuck as loud as we want.
You could have fucked as loud as you wanted before. When would I give a shit about that? Bitch, I got earplugs.
I'm only being polite.
And yeah, Marlene heading off 2-room space like doesn't even get in bed. Like walks in, kicks the door shut with foot backwards, walks to bed, face plant.
I feel like it's almost even kicks the door shut with foot and pushes off of door with foot to propel self into bed.
Yep.
Are you asleep before or after you hit the bed?
At the same moment.
If you wanted to time it, it's probably like a microsecond before, to be honest. Look, torturing the fake you to death in a way that would make Jigsaw blush takes a lot out of you.
Well, you could have just not tortured him.
I don't understand the statement.
Oh, good. The pacifist is chiming in again.
What'd I do?
Yeah. James puts like 3 pizzas in the oven.
Okay, that's for you. Now, what about the rest of us?
I mean, I can make something else if you want.
Joe's just gonna grab like bowl and cereal and milk and just like not even honor his not even dignify a response to his statement. Oh, have at it. If you see me faceplant my cereal bowl, just like pick me up before I drown.
Duly noted. What is Frisian up to?
Probably just sitting at the table.
Staring
doing
into the middle distance.
A little bit, just kind of processing the day.
Frisian, you need something to eat?
I probably should.
Like, you want a sandwich or something, or like microwave popcorn?
Frizzy will look in the fridge and scrounge something together.
A few minutes pass, and James plants 3 fresh pizzas of various toppings onto the table.
I have a question. How is he gonna actually bother slicing those pizzas, or are you just gonna like fold it like a taco and just like?
I mean, they were pre-sliced because they were, frozen pizzas.
Where are you getting pre-sliced frozen pizzas?
Depends on the quality of what you're getting.
Well, shit.
They're usually the fancier pizzas, but
I mean, not like fully.
Not like fully cut, but like they have
like
the
pre-roll cut. Yes.
Yeah, pre-roll.
So
cut,
you don't
basically.
have to. So you don't have to do the full freaking
Full thing. Okay.
Yeah, you can just sort of pull and it'll snap.
That
up,
is news.
basically.
You don't have to act like you're like you're fucking in the heavy part of your workout to get through the crust.
I don't know that I've ever encountered one of these in the wild.
I don't think I have either. Maybe I'm just eating cheap pizza.
I'm pretty certain like DiGiorno does theirs pre-rolled.
No.
No. Are you
Somebody does.
Regardless,
I know, Johnny. I know what you're talking about. You're not. You're not insane.
Not for that reason. Let's clarify.
Not for that reason. Yes. Sorry, I should clarify.
Okay, Freshetta does it. I know that much. I just looked it up, and I know that Freshetta does it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, good to know. Moving on.
There are indeed pre-sliced pizzas.
Yep.
Yeah, he just sort of snaps up a few of the pieces and just starts going to town on it. Of note, he has gotten a meat lovers, a several different cheeses, and a Hawaiian that he's just laid out on the table.
I think Joe's just gonna look at that Hawaiian pizza and just like reach over, grab a slice. It's like, this one's mine.
I was curious on how that sentence was going to end because there are strong opinions one way or the other
I love
about pineapple. You have the accurate
I
reaction then.
I absolutely love Hawaiian pizza, and I buy it when nobody else in my house wants to eat. When I don't want to share with anybody else in the house. So
Yeah, because I know John has strong anti-pineapple opinions, and he's wrong.
he has
And he's wrong.
he is called it an abomination and has questioned the state of our marriage in a joking way.
Right, obviously.
Yeah, he has the wrong opinion.
Yes.
So like
Katie, Holly, and I all agree that Hawaiian pizza is excellent.
Clearly,
It's the best pizza.
The three of us can't be wrong.
Granted, I'm going to ruin that
ever.
by saying
Uh-oh.
the only thing that makes it better, is putting mushrooms on it.
I agree with you.
Yes.
I don't do mushrooms at all.
Oh.
Katie and Holly don't do mushrooms. I love
can't-
mushrooms.
I can't. It's a texture thing. I can't do it.
That is fair.
I think it's a texture thing for Holly as well.
I'll do
Holly can't stand the smell.
Oh yeah.
I will do like the cream of mushroom soup, like in a casserole. Like that's perfectly fine. I don't have a problem with that. No, texture can't.
But you get ham, pineapple, and mushrooms on one pizza, and I will go to town on it.
Yes. Accurate.
This is what William is getting for his birthday.
Listen, I don't normally like pizza because I delivered for a pizza place for too many years and burnt myself out on it forever. But I will occasionally go to town on a ham, pineapple, and mushroom.
All right, back to the story.
Yeah.
This is a distracted session, even by our standards.
No, we've been way worse.
Yeah. Eating pizza, cereal.
Yeah, you all get a meal in, and you are welcome to have some of the pizzas, but James will finish whatever anyone else doesn't.
Joe's just gonna take that one slice, and then as soon as she's done with her slice of pizza and her bowl of cereal, she's just would like pat James on the head and just like walk out of the room and go like collapse on the sofa.
James will take a little bit longer to finish his pizza and then join you. Does Frisian get any of the pizza, or does he just make a sandwich or something?
He'll probably have some of the pizza. The question I had for myself was, when was Hawaiian pizza made?
Oh, right. How unfamiliar is he with Hawaiian pizza?
Hawaiian pizza is older than you think.
Yes. It's a lot older because that's, yeah.
And it was invented in
62.
America.
Frisian's old. It's Ontario, Canada, and it was in 62.
Yeah, 1962. You're old. You're older than Hawaiian pizza.
That said, you're probably more open to trying Hawaiian pizza than most people because you haven't been told of it. You haven't been spoken to about it. So,
pizza was created in Canada in 1962 by a Greek immigrant called Sam Panopoulos.
I love that Hawaiian pizza was made in Canada by a Greek immigrant. That's just like.
So Frisian tries it, and is perfectly fine with it.
Good, we can keep him.
That's like flip a coin to decide how Frisian thinks about
That's exactly what you do.
it. Yeah.
I love that that is either Hawaiian pizza is great or it is an abomination. There is no in between.
Pretty much.
To be fair, I am the in between. I just don't care either way.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the in between. If you can call it that.
It's like, it's a thing. People like it, whatever. But Frisian tries it, it's like, oh, this sounds odd, but it actually works fairly well. And
It's a sweet and savory thing. People like sweet and savory. You all get a night's rest after having eaten your food.
I am going to drink much coffee and so far later into the morning than is advisable.
Mm-hmm. So you don't get a night's rest.
It's the curse of the sewing room. Whoever's in there doesn't sleep.
No. I'm going to look around and see what is the most fabulous dress I could make.
Roll me wits and crafts.
Wits and crafts.
Do you have a specialization that might be relevant?
Yes, I have sewing.
Yes, then you can add an extra die for your sewing specialty.
One extra die? Okay. And I would like to spend glamour, and I would like to do 8 days of work tonight.
Oh, you're going to use the brownies trick?
Yes.
Whatever it's called?
Mm-hmm. Not to any relevance, apparently.
As you get a decent amount of work done, it's moving at a relatively slow pace. So even at 8 days of work, you're maybe only like halfway through putting together your first dress. But you've at least got the pattern made out, and you've got your materials like ready to go. So it's more just a matter of putting it together onto the pattern.
Okay.
You imagine another 8 days like that, or a better roll with that same ability, would probably see it done.
I will be passed out in the sewing room in the morning.
Yep. So everybody who isn't Frank gets a willpower back from their night's rest.
Yay. Oh, I'm not down any weirdly. Oh no, that's right, because okay, I know.
Yeah, I was only down 2.
And those of you that still have a point of lethal damage can... Yeah, you can downgrade it to bashing. And it will then heal over the course of the morning, assuming you don't put anything worse on it. You can downgrade 1, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
If you have more than 1, you still have at least that. So, you all come to in the morning. Who's up first?
Frisian will be up first.
That tracks. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I would be, but I did almost die, so I feel like sleep is probably
very important.
Whether he wants to or not, he's probably sleeping in.
Frisian, what are you up to in the morning?
Frisian will go for a run.
Where are you going for a run? Just out around the warehouse, or? You going
Like-
somewhere specific?
Like just down the road and
All right.
back.
You head out and you go on your run.
So
Roll me weird.
see. Sheet roll. No modifiers.
No modifiers, just your weird. Cool. You go out for a run. And as you do, you sort of sense the turning of the season on the air. As I have completely forgotten what time of year I said it was, but I believe I said it was like just past Halloween.
That was just before.
Just before Halloween, you're right. I think I said it was just before Halloween.
So just starting to get some fall weather.
Yeah, so you begin to you start to feel the changing of the seasons as you can feel a more crisp breeze blowing around, and you see some of the leaves are starting to turn, and you have the sense of fall.
Comes to mind, Dr. Croak said last night that when it's the season's turn, they elect a leader. And with the change of the season, like Frisian's reminded of that comment.
And as you think on that, you wonder what kind of leader might rule over the court of autumn with its concern with the ideas of fear and the gathering of information and the keeping of records. What kind of mysterious figure would be in charge of such a shadowed court? But the thought doesn't have too much time to form, as you are not of the autumn court, and it is largely not of your business, as you are of the summer. But the idea takes a bit of purchase.
Like the idea is there, something to ask about next time at the Commons. Like when the opportunity comes up.
But other than the changing of the seasons, you don't sense anything out of the ordinary on your run, and you manage to return. By that point, someone else has woken up, but who is that someone else?
I've probably gotten up at that point. And I'm just kind of waiting around for everybody else to get up because I need to get to my new house. Because I have phone calls to make and shit like that. And all that information is still there. Yeah. Jackson is probably in the process of like packing stuff up, because that is also something that needs to be done. And it's just put stuff in boxes because there will be movers moving this stuff because I can afford movers now.
As Jackson's moving about, just the packing and stuff like that, Joe's gonna stir awake. I guess I needed that.
Right, sweetie. Lift your leg for a second. As I grab something that you probably just like fell asleep, like something that needs to go in a box. I don't know.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
You look over and you see James is still curled up next to you.
He's got to be a pain in the ass to wake up. Mm. It's going to take it by the shoulders, like, James.
Stirs a little bit, and there's sort of a half-hearted.
Wakey, wakey.
He sort of inhales and huffs, and that sort of like, fine, I'm getting up, but I'm not happy about it. But the thing that you notice is that as he does that, there's the faintest spark and just the slight puff of smoke out of his nose as he does that.
Okay. Don't start any fires.
Do not start any fires.
I'm awake. Kind of.
Welcome back. How was your pizza?
It was good. All three of them.
Oh, good, you're awake. Hold this for a second. I'm heading off somewhere else.
Just puts hands to hold it as you drop it on it, basically.
Very helpful.
I think you can put that down now.
So sits up further, looks at the box, examines what's in it, sets it down off to one side.
I think we better get out of the way.
Yep. Somebody's moving house.
Must be nice.
Well, come to think of it, hey, Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
if you're moving your shit out of here, can we take the place?
Head pokes out. If you want, I was just planning on using this for storage, but yes, absolutely, if you want to. I was going to say, if you...
Until we deal with the whole fetch situation, our house is kind of off limits as well.
I was going to say, since you are currently in the process of dealing with your own fetches, and I do happen to have a ginormous house with many rooms, you are welcome to stay there, of course. Everybody is. That is up to you. If you want there, if you want here, that is fine. If you want there, I suspect the heating is better there.
I don't think you got to worry about that too much, considering, me.
Fair. It is your choice.
I just gotta save on so many heating bills.
Yeah, dragon heating tends to keep you warm in the winter.
I would say so. That's all I'm gonna say. So how about it? You want this as our own place, or you want a room in a mansion?
I think Cassandra's kind of got the right idea in that having a separate place that's away from everybody else is nice to have, even if you do stay over sometimes.
I don't hate the idea.
And this would be a nice place that's still in the real outside of our hollow until we take our place back.
Yeah. Well, your place. It was never mind.
You're married to me. It's our place.
I've never stepped foot in it. But whatever you say.
All right. The only thing I'm gonna say is until I get everything moved out of here, which will take a little while, I strongly suggest you not open any suitcases, especially ones that smell strange.
You wouldn't happen to be one of those people that's got a body in a suitcase somewhere.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Fair enough.
No, they keep the bodies in the trunk. They don't keep bodies in suitcases.
I've heard at least one story about a person being stuffed in a suitcase and found in a drag queen's apartment or something like that.
Listen, if you put in a pinch with a saw, you can fit things in a lot of places.
Oh, goodness.
What are we fitting where? What?
Nothing.
What did I just come back to?
Just a little bit of conversation. So, they're going to be staying here for now. I'm going to be obviously in my new house. If you would like, you are more than welcome to stay at my home.
Oh, thank you.
Not required, but the offer is there. Anyway, keep moving.
Somebody should probably wake Frank up at some point before they get covered in moving boxes.
Oh, Frank's fine.
Cut to Frank surrounded by several boxes in all directions.
They're a cat. They
Oh no, Frank is 100% had like particular half-made outfits and the like just draped over him wherever he is. All right, so what's on our agenda for today? Other than I know I have some things I need to do. I have financial records to look over. Former people that I benefit, whose causes I financially supported to blackmail, that sort of thing. What about y'all?
The only thing I can think of is it kind of involves the whole motley, and I know everybody needs a bit of a break right now before we plan the next murder.
Absolutely.
Tell you what, James says, Halloween's this weekend. How about we pick up first day of November on the whole deal with Fetch's plan?
That sounds delightful. I will see what. Let's just call it my predecessor going forward. I will see what my predecessor had, if anything, on your. I know it said that they did not get along because obviously they had very different political spectrums, shall we say. But I do believe it said that there was some information in there that might be useful. I'll see what I can uncover for you. We might not be doing anything, but we can still start reconnaissance.
Research, got it.
Non-physical reconnaissance. It did say that the fetches didn't have some kind of like banding together for protection or secret society meetings or anything like that. And I believe it was telling the truth.
I just. Okay, great. You got the reconnaissance information and stuff. I still don't know. How pathetic is it that I just don't know how to sit still and relax?
Yes, why possibly would somebody who has been traumatized for several years consistently not know how to sit down and be with themselves? Do you see me running around this place right now,
At least,
actively while we are talking?
at least you got something to do.
That's the difference. We need to find you something to do for the next few days. If all else fails, you do have a husband, so there is a plan.
That's more of a someone than a something.
It's the point stands. If you over-explain the joke, you ruin it.
Frisian leans over to James. What's Halloween?
I'm sorry, what?
Sorry, I the storyteller missed that question. What was it?
What's
What's
Halloween?
Halloween?
Okay.
Frisian's not from America.
Yeah. Oh.
Frisian did not grow up with Halloween.
It is a commercialized version of the holiday celebrate All Hallows Eve, Samhain, call it what you want. The late October festival involving the veil between the dead and the living being very thin and that sort of thing.
Let people go to haunted houses, they carve pumpkins, they hang decorations of ghosts and vampires and other
Any
monsters.
catching?
Sounds
kids-
fun.
Kids, well, not just kids, people dress up in costumes and go door to door and people hand out candy.
I like to call it Queer Christmas.
I've heard it called that.
Well, tell you what, you got a bit of an autumn leaning, Joe, James says. We could
just a bit.
we could head into the commons and find out what the Freehold's doing for Halloween, because that's what it seems like their whole thing. And maybe figure out how to get some glamour, because I'm running low. I don't know about the rest of you.
Oh, yes, that is a thing.
I mean, I got glamour yesterday with the scaring the shit out of the security guard.
Well,
That was fun.
I can tell you right now, if Billy Gruff doesn't know something, which is highly unlikely, I can tell you for certain that Autumn Fright does know. She's probably the head of the committee, to be quite honest with you. If there is such a Halloween committee on Fall Court.
Going by her name, if I was going to guess that anybody would be involved in Autumn's Halloween celebrations, it would be her.
Oh no, she runs some of the haunted houses in the area. She's quite convincing.
No
So,
doubt.
You've
let's
mentioned
say
fun.
we all, well, when you're done packing, head into the commons and ask around about Halloween festivities and see what we can do about harvesting glamour, because quite frankly, I have no idea where to even start.
Do I have?
You have one glamour, Joe.
I have one.
as a
Yeah,
storyteller.
I should probably. Yeah, I should probably. Yeah, I could use some glamour.
Sounds like a plan. I'm going to text Cassandra, checking in, I'm heading my place.
You're doing what?
Heading to my place.
Oh, heading to my place.
Uh, there's a trip to the communal place to do some stuff. You gonna be busy for the day, or just making sure we stay in touch?
Meanwhile, how late is it before Cassandra and Tyr get up, do you think?
Well,
Tyr's probably up to make sure the kids get in bed.
I was about to say it's a weekday, so probably not terribly late. Cassandra might let herself sleep in until 8.
I think Tyr probably gets up, gets the kids to school, and then flops back into bed for another hour or two of sleep.
Yeah, so around 8:30, she'll roll over, check her phone.
And that text probably doesn't come until closer to like 9-ish. So
Right.
there's
She
nothing on your
will,
phone at the moment.
she will roll out of bed, go downstairs, put on a pot of coffee, and then we'll begin writing. And looking into she's going to Facebook, to Twitter, just Google anywhere she can find any information out about her siblings, not necessarily her parents, but
Only intelligence and computers.
make sure we're on a normal roll and a sheet roll, not an attack roll anymore. Computer. You know what? For shiggles, we're gonna spend a willpower on this. Two successes.
So with 2 successes, you're able to at least find cursory information on all 3 of your siblings. You learn that Maeve is currently acting as a paralegal up in Knoxville. That you reaffirm your knowledge that her kids are a little bit younger than yours, and that they are, but you learn that she has had a second kid, for one, because you had basically just learned that the first kid was born before everything happened. But you learn that she's had a second kid named Penelope. You learn that she's been keeping up with her volunteer work outside of being a paralegal. And the last thing you find her on with Facebook is getting into an argument with your mother. For Kane, you find that he doesn't use a whole lot of social media. He tends to keep to himself a lot. But you do learn that he's still working at the same factory that his father works at. But you learn that he got married in the time that you've been gone and has a wife named Kari.
Really thought he was gonna be gay.
your little sister is currently in college, studying history.
Good for her.
And the most recent picture is of her with a girl that she is holding very closely.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the super gay one.
Yeah, your sister Lilith, as her actual name is. You can see her getting very close with a girl at a party in one of her more recent pictures.
She thinks for a second. She picks up her phone. And all this has Tyr come down yet?
Yeah, it's about now that Tyr steps down the stairs, and you can see them. Their hair is down off to one side, and you can see that they're dressed again in that sort of like loose mom shirt. But you can see the 5 o'clock shadow starting to come in. They haven't had the energy to shave if they want to today.
I need you to not yell at me about what I'm about to do.
Hey, I said you could open that can of worms in the morning. We've had sleep.
Just dial a number into the phone. She's calling Lily.
The phone rings twice, 3 times. You think it's about to go to voicemail before it picks up. Hello?
Hi there, Lily.
You hear the phone fall to the floor on the other side before there's a oh my god, and a scramble to pick the phone back up.
Breathe. Okay. First off, I want. Yeah.
Holy shit. Thought you
First
were
off,
dead.
there are times in the 4 years I've been gone that I wished I was. I will admit that. But between you and me, and I mean this wholeheartedly, between you and me, do not tell anybody else yet. I'm not dead. I'm back. I don't want to talk about it, but you're the first one to know. Besides Bologna, of course. But, and the kids. But yeah, I'm back.
Sorry, I need to sit down for a second.
No, take your time.
It's amazing. I was worried. I didn't think I'd ever see you again.
A lot of people thought the same thing.
It's so amazing to hear your voice.
Sweetheart. Same. How,
We have so much to talk about.
I imagine we do. what are you doing for lunch today? Or how's your schedule look? I know you studied history in college. I just don't know what your schedule looks like.
I've got a free day today. We can meet. We can have lunch.
And she will sort of give a questioning look at Tyr.
Who will nod and like, yeah, we can do that.
How No, I'll meet your girlfriend later. Yeah, she'll actually list off one of the fancier restaurants in the area. With something nice. Don't worry about money. I'll take care of it.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it. Okay. Yes. I will see you there.
Okay. And like I said, you gotta promise me.
I will tell no one else.
Thank you, Lily Pad.
See you later, Cassie.
Love you. She'll hang up.
And with that, that's where we'll end for the week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Goodbye.